Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And what you're seeing on screen is a AT&T upgrade in progress here in El Paso, Texas. This is actually a site directly facing into the UTEP Sun Bowl. For those of you who are not familiar, that is where the UTEP minor football team play and where they have concerts and our big end of year Sun Bowl game for the college bowl games. And I want to say when AT&T dedicates themselves a little bit, they get a little focused, they invest a little money, they can build some really nice networks, or they can do some really nice networking. So in this case, they've been upgrading this for about 2 weeks now. I just saw it yesterday, took some pictures today. So it got the C-band DoD treatment, as you guys can see. But they also added a third sector. They say I was told it's a split sector with a high capacity antenna. That antenna is directly facing into the Sun Bowl Stadium. So the two sectors, they're kind of facing opposite directions. But that third sector, and maybe you'll get a better view of it here, this high capacity antenna, that one directly faces into the Sun Bowl Stadium. I ran a few speed tests. I have been told it's still being optimized and tweaked. I pulled a little over a gig on this site, but I have a feeling that this site can go even faster. So there's some limitations somewhere at the ports, the backhaul, the circuit, whatever. I feel there are some limitations, but this site, it can go much, much faster than what I saw today. So maybe in a week or so, I'll go back and test it again, just to see what the outcome is. The bowl game, I think, is on the 31st. It's Washington and I think Louisville, if I saw that right. So we'll see. Maybe I'll go test during the game. Usually there are about 45,000 people in attendance. So depending on traffic, we'll see. But like I said, when AT&T really wants to and they get focused, they can do some nice networking. If they weren't too big on fiber and the investment mostly going towards that, AT&T would be very dangerous, in my opinion, on the wireless networking side. They have a lot of firepower. But you also got to keep in mind, would they have that same firepower without fiber? Fiber is a big play for the company. It's very high in the ARPU. It makes them a ton of money, and still more money to come as they continue to grow that footprint. So essentially you could say, hey, maybe, the fiber is funding the wireless. It's possible, right? But of course, today that's still the other way around. Wireless is funding the fiber. Wireless is clearly still the bread and butter. But for the first time in a long time, El Paso is getting some TLC. They're actually a little focused here. They're growing share. They like the fiber in this market. They're the only fiber player. They have no other fiber competition here. So as they continue penetrating neighborhoods and continue on the journey with the convergence, the wireless network has to speak for itself. More and more people are joining AT&T, so the wireless network has to be good. It doesn't have to be great. It doesn't have to be the best, but it has to be good for all the additional growth that they're taking on. So I predict this. I'm looking at T-Mobile and them dealing with interference and having to cut N41 down. I'm looking at Verizon and how aggressively they're building new sites and getting the C-band built out and then CBRS. So I'd make a prediction that eventually, right? So the last root metric score that came out, Verizon was 1, T-Mobile 2, AT&T was in third place. I think eventually, I don't think it might not happen in this second half of 2024, but eventually it should be Verizon number 1 again, AT&T number 2, and T-Mobile number 3. Just a lot of firepower from AT&T right now. A lot of C-band DoD going on sites. A lot of C-RAN that are being put in the ground that eventually will get the C-band radio added on. So that's a lot of capacity and a lot of densification too, because these C-RAN are being built very close, very tight grid, on at least in the areas where they're being deployed. So AT&T is very smartly looking over the market. They're looking at everything, right? RSRP, building penetration. They're looking at all that. So I think that's where the scores are headed based on the investment that AT&T is making. I haven't seen the build plan yet for 2025. I'm still waiting on that, but I would anticipate it to be just about as aggressive as what I saw from AT&T in 2024. So just wanted to share that with you all. Make sure you guys stay tuned for more. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.